Hello everyone, my name is Brayden. This is Airless Quill 9. I have a full cup of coffee and the will to live, so let's go ahead and get back into our coverage of the Forgotten Realm source books that dropped recently. On this particular video, we are going to take a look at the Banneret Fighter subclass that appears in Heroes of Faerun. So, without really much further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So the Banneret Fighter has the tag Rally Fellow Heroes with Inspiring Leadership. Bannerets are paragons of valor and leadership who protect the innocent and rally fellow adventurers to the causes of justice and freedom. Many are knights serving in Cormyr, the Silver Marches, Damara, Chesenta, or other lands across Faerun. They wander the realms as knights errant, taking the fight against evil beyond their kingdom's borders. A banneret relies on judgment, bravery, and fidelity to the code of chivalry to guide them in defeating evildoers. A lone banneret is a skilled warrior, but when leading a band of allies, one of these warriors can transform even a poorly equipped militia into a ferocious warband. So the Banneret Fighter is kind of a support fighter in a way, as we will see by the abilities presented here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first ability that the Banneret gets. At level 3, we gain Knightly Envoy. This states that you know to conduct yourself with grace as a noble ambassador. You gain the following benefits. Comprehension. You can cast the Comprehend Languages spell, but only as a ritual. Charisma is your spellcasting ability for it. Polyglot. You learn one language from the language tables in the Player's Handbook or Chapter 2 of the Forgotten Realms series of Faerun. The reason they state that is because there are a lot of languages in the Forgotten Realms that could be available, so that is why that is present there. When you finish a long rest, you can replace a language learned from this benefit with another language you have heard, seen, signed, or read in the past 24 hours. Kind of a neat ability. Well spoken. You gain proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: Insight, Intimidation, Persuasion, or Performance. Also nice options, and ones that are very likely to be used in a bunch of different social situations. Overall, this is a pretty nice ribbon feature. Very flavorful. Comprehend languages is kind of fun, especially for what you would be using it for. Nice to gain additional language and nice to gain additional proficiency. So yeah, good feature overall. Alright, also at level 3, we gain Group Recovery. This states that when you use your second wind to regain hit points, you can choose a number of allies within a 30-foot emanation originating from yourself, up to a number of allies equal to your charisma modifier. So you will want to scale your charisma modifier with this subclass. Each of those allies regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus your fighter level. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Now, I've seen a lot of people giving some flack on this particular feature, and I really think the main reason is because this is a once per short rest feature. I do want to remind everyone that you do regain one use of second wind whenever you take a short rest. So ideally, if you're effectively using this feature, it is very likely for you to get into a combat and pop this feature to use your second wind when you get low in hit points, and also heal your allies because of that. In addition, whenever you finish the combat, you likely will want to take that short rest to regain that use of second wind. Granted, I do see the argument here because this is effectively a subclass feature that you can only use occasionally, and you will have to take rests in order to regain it. But honestly, I don't see a whole lot of situations where you wouldn't want to take that short rest, because you do gain back a use of second wind in order to use this feature. So take with that as you will. This is a decent feature. It's not crazy, but it is a decent one, and I can see where this would become useful, especially in pretty serious circumstances. The healing is very nice, and the radius on that emanation is very good as well. All right, at level 7, we get Team Tactics. This is an upgrade to Group Recovery. It states that when you use Group Recovery, each chosen ally has advantage on d20 tests until the start of your next turn. A small little buff, but a nice one at that. Advantage on all d20 tests is pretty great, even though it only lasts until the start of your next turn. But granted, when you use Group Recovery, you are likely using it at the end of your turn, and it will last the entire round up until the start of your next turn. So there is a great chance of this being used on your allies, or by your allies rather, once this is used. So pretty decent upgrade to Group Recovery. Now, our next ability is at level 10. This is Rallying Surge. When you use your Action Surge, you can choose allies within a 30-foot emanation originating from yourself, up to a number of allies equal to your Charisma modifier, minimum of 1. See, another reason that we'll be wanting to increase our Charisma modifier. Each of those allies can immediately take a reaction to use one of the following options. Attack. The ally makes one attack with a weapon or an unarmed strike. Move. The ally moves up to half its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. This is a pretty neat feature. You do regain action surges on a short rest recovery, I believe. And I believe it's a short rest recovery. I will double check that as I'm talking. But the options presented here are pretty nice. Attack is very useful for fellow martial characters that will need that versatility, or they can use that reaction to make an attack where they wouldn't have otherwise, because normally if you're playing a martial character, they're saving that for an opportunity attack, and this kind of just helps make sure that they do gain that back. The move option is going to be very useful for for allies that aren't able to make a weapon or armed strike attack. So like your spellcasters, they will likely want to move to a safer area, and it's nice that that's movement speed. It doesn't provoke opportunity attacks as well. And I did confirm Action Surge does come back on a short rest, so this is another once per short rest ability, and you are going to want to be taking short rest to regain your Action Surge after you use it, so this will be something that you use quite often as well. So nice, decent feature. It's a really fun way. It kind of harkens back to the Warlord the Warlord archetype that allowed you to command your allies, and the Battlemaster has some of that as well, but this is like a big emanation that allows you to do it to a good number of your allies. So this is a pretty decent feature, and this will probably be used as often as the fighter can allow it. At level 15, the Banneret gains Shared Resilience. This states that when an ally you can see within 60 feet of yourself fails a saving throw, you can take a reaction to expend a use of your Indomitable feature. The ally can immediately re-roll the saving throw with a bonus equal to your fighter level. The ally must use the new roll. This is a pretty neat feature. Basically just lets you share your Indomitable trait. And if I'm being honest, there is probably going to be a few scenarios where you don't use all your uses of Indomitable, and having the option to share that with your allies is pretty great, because now you can have your allies gain that massive fighter level bonus. And by the time you actually get this, that bonus is plus 15. So that's a massive bonus there, and is very likely to let that ally succeed on their saving throw. So yeah, this is a really cool feature, and I really do appreciate the versatility of this. Using Indomitable on allies is very cool. And then finally, we get to the capstone feature of the Banneret. This is Inspiring Commander. You gain the following benefits. Bolstered Rally. The area of effect for both Group Recovery and Rallying Surge is now a 60-foot emanation. That's a very good upgrade to both of those. And Unshakable Bravery. You have immunity to the Charmed and Frightened conditions. And that actually kind of makes sense. It actually makes me think of the new Knight stat blocks in the 2024 Monster Manual, because the Knight, or the Knight Commander, I think, it has immunity to the Charmed and Frightened condition, and they actually have that in a aura that they have. So that kind of makes me think of that. But having immunity to Charmed and Frightened, especially as a fighter with not very high mental saves, probably, that's pretty good. Granted, it is here at level 18, but that is a good feature. I would have liked there to be a little something else here, maybe a upgrade to the number of hit points that Group Recovery regain for allies. Maybe just increase that D4 to something else, maybe a D6 or up to D10, but that is not present here. As it is, though, good, decent capstone feature, especially for what has been given previously. But yeah, that is the entirety of the Banneret fighter. And honestly, if I am being totally honest, this is a lot better than the 2014 version of the Banneret fighter. So that is see, that is a win in my book. This is not an unplayable subclass. This will require you to make use of your rests and recovery for you to use the full scale of your features. So you will want to speak with your party members if you are playing a Banneret fighter, but I see this as a subclass that is very ally friendly. So if you want to make the full use of the abilities that this gives you, it would make a lot of sense for your allies to work with you in order for you to regain those features, in order for you to use them as often as possible. But as it is, Banneret fighter is okay. It's not crazy overpowered. It's not super terrible. So yeah, this is a entirely playable subclass. I don't think it's the most powerful fighter subclass, but it is a functional subclass, and you will get some decent gameplay usage out of this. So that is a win in my book. That is the Banneret fighter, though. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to get more coverage on the Forgotten Realms sourcebooks and other videos that I make. I do videos on monsters from the Monster Manual, give you the changes that have been made between their 2024 and their 2014 counterparts, and let you know what has changed and if they are indeed better than the older versions. So check out those videos if you're interested. And I also have an actual play that I'm releasing on my channel for the Sands of Dune campaign that Mr. Retz wrote. So take a look at that video playlist, as well, as we are currently through the first chapter of that adventure. So we are in a good spot for you to start catching up. There are 10 videos out right now. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. See you later.